And my next guest is a member of one of the biggest rock and roll bands in the world. He is the newest member of his group, even though he's been playing with them for nearly 35 years. Before that, his career as a guitarist saw him working with bands such as the Byrds, the Jeff Beck Group, and the Faces. He's also an accomplished artist, a painter, and he has lived on and off in Kildare for over 20 years. He is true rock royalty and a member of the Rolling Stones, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ronnie Wood.
Good. Hello.
Now, what accent was that? Welsh or Irish? Really
well,
good.
it's kind of Kildare.
Kildare.
No, I haven't been back for a long time.
It's been a while.
Hey, I've been in that band 36 years now, you know.
I know, I just decided to knock a year off your life.
All right.
If that's okay, to make it. Listen, great reaction to the new album. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
It's
I
flying.
feel like playing. It all started with I feel like painting. See?
Is it?
With my painting, obviously.
Yes.
And then I took it into the music.
Yeah, and on it went. I mean, how was the launch in London recently? Was that
It
this
was
week?
fabulous. We had, I hand painted my shoes as well.
Is that your own handiwork?
Yeah.
Good work.
We had a great couple of shows in one night last Tuesday at the Ambassadors Theatre in up in Soho, and I amalgamated with the cast of Stomp, you know, with all the percussion.
Doing a bit of that.
It was fantastic, and you know, it was really good.
And the reviews are good. That must be heartening for you. You must be pretty chuffed with that. Happy?
Yeah.
Good.
Very.
What about the names on the album that people have seen with you? There's the Slash is there, Flea, Chris Christopherson, all these guys. How did you decide on who to pick to play with you on the album?
Yeah, well, it's very nice kind of atmosphere. I was in LA, didn't even know I was going to make an album. And my friend Steve Bing rang up and he said, "Hey, Ronnie, I want to hear you play. People want to hear you."
Yeah.
And I went, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, I got the studio booked, the House of Blues, up in the Hollywood Hills there." And he said, "I've got Jim Keltner on drums, Ivan Neville on the keyboards."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I got Bernard Fowler here, who's going to sing with me tonight."
Great.
And I said, "I got Flea on the phone." So I said, "Come on, meet me up there." So we just met, and Slash was in the next room, next recording studio. And Billy Gibbons came through town, he heard I was in the studio, and he said, "Come on, can I come and play?" I said, "Come on, get out there, you know what to do." And, you know, it's a bit like that with, there's a bit of luck involved.
Yeah.
People being in town at the right time, and, you know, it's just a good atmosphere.
Would it be fair to say that even lyrically it's quite a personal album, that a lot of, you know, your heart is in it? Is that you know, quite emotional?
Kind of the way my life was panning out at the time, and still is, you know. It's a new kind of freedom, you know.
Why did you go down
freedom things here?
Why did you go down that route to be so personal about it?
I don't know, really. I just felt it's time to. I gotta go. I gotta see.
Yeah.
What's on the other side waiting for me, and that's the song I'm doing tonight.
Do you think you've had a rough couple of years up until this point?
Not really. It's just rough. I didn't have any time on my own, you know. It was like I couldn't go anywhere or do anything. But, you know, it was kind of a pill that I had to swallow, and it was a bit self-inflicted, even though I didn't mean to plan anything. I just left home, and I thought, well, I need some time, you know.
And has it worked out? Did you find the headspace you needed?
Yeah. And I'm finding it more and more every day, a bit more peace and bit more, I don't know what it is. It's a freedom. And
have you? You're off the sauce, are you? You've given up booze and all the rest of it, or?
Yeah, I'm 8 months now, clean and serene. I found my grace.
It's a big decision to make. What made you? At what point did you say, "No, not having any of that now"?
It was a good decision for me, yeah, because there was a point where it wasn't working anymore.
Yeah.
I was a grumpy old man and telling everyone to, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is not me. I'm not like this. I shouldn't be this grumpy, you know. And
constantly hungover. And
yeah, well, not hungover. I never had hangovers. That's why I never understood it, because I never sobered up. That's why. So I'm finding it. I'm like a newborn babe, you know, with this like, wow, I'm waking up like I actually know what I'm doing. And I know what I'm saying, and I remember what I did and where I've been, and, you know, that was a new thing for me. You know, I kind of kept on top of it as best I could, but to actually be responsible. It's like, wow, I haven't been like that since I was a teenager, and I was never responsible then either. So I'm just, my mum used to call me a little monkey, you know.
Yeah.
Come on, my little monkey. And I suppose that's what I am.
And so you've got a kind of, I noticed you flashed a couple of things there on your, was it a feather you picked up there?
Yeah, Mr. Clapton actually gave this to me last year. He said it's a red Indian sign of freedom, and I said, that's funny, because my daughter gave me another one.
Really?
Just before I left home. And I said, what's this, Leah? She said, it's a freedom feather, Dad, you know. And I went, oh, great, you know, because I feel something in my bones about freedom, and, you know, and it all kind of fitted in.
Kildare, you mentioned you hadn't been there for a while, but you've had a house there for, what, 20 years or something like that?
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years.
And Pat Harty is down there. Hi, Pat.
He's looking after
the ranch for me and my horses.
Okay.
I was talking to Ruby earlier on about, he said, have you got any horses? I said, yeah, I've got some lovely 2-year-olds coming out.
Yeah.
I don't get there as often as I'd like, and I don't see the horses. I had to trim down a bit because it costs a lot of money to keep them going and all that.
Did you have a few interesting people visit the house down through the years, I presume?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Who's who?
I have lots of snooker friends, you know, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Jimmy White, and Frankie Dettori, and some of the Irish jockey boys. We all play snooker together and have fun down there.
You would have been pally
Jessica Harrington's still training for me, by the way. Hi, Jessie.
And you would have been quite pally with Alex Higgins at one point, I presume, would you?
Alex?
Yeah. He
had a famous trek in the middle of the night to get to my house once. He knocked on somebody's house. It was in pitch dark, and a little light came on. And they went, who is it? And they went, don't you know who I am? This is Alex Higgins. Alex Gordon Higgins. Show me the way to Ronnie's house. And he ploughed as the crow flies across fields. And he got this little boy to push his bike with his luggage on it. And he'd been thrown out of a few cabs on the way. And he finally arrived at my house, and he said, what we're going to have in the 2:30. He liked to bet, you know.
So he was a pal in that. Can I ask you, do you remember at the moment Mick Jagger said, you're in the band? Was it a particular...
Yeah, there was actually. It was a Robert Stigwood party back in the early 70s. And I was sitting between Jagger and Mick Taylor. And Mick Taylor leaned across and he said to Mick Jagger, I'm leaving the band. Yeah. And I went, what? Nice joke. And he said, no, I'm serious. And Mick looked at me, because Taylor said it again, and Jagger said, I think he's serious, you know. And I said, it does appear that way. And so anyway, Mick Taylor got up and left, and he made no bones about it. He said, no, that's it, I'm off. And Mick said, what am I going to do? Would you join the band? And I said, of course I would, but, you know, I didn't want to split the faces up. And he said, I don't either. And he said, if I get desperate, can I ring you? And I said, of course. So he did. About a year later, funny enough, though, and they've been trying different guitar players.
And then you came. And now, as a member of the Rolling Stones, I mean, I know it's a kind of ridiculous question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What's it like being in the Rolling Stones? Is it insane, or is it a joy?
It's a great joy, because it's different every time we meet up, and there's a new energy gets together every time we get to rehearse. And there's something magic happens when we all get together. It's like people come out of the woodwork, 4 generations of people. They're just like, it's like a magnet, and they, you know, all over the world. It's really fun.
Okay, and I know that you wanted to mention these gloves. Isn't that right, Paula Rowan's gloves?
Oh yeah, she's great. There's a pair of gloves with some studs in that on the top, which I'm hoping to get from her.
I'll have to ask her. She's here in the audience now. She designed these.
I met her last night. Lovely lady, and it's for a handicapped
the Down syndrome, I think. Is it Down syndrome Ireland? Special Olympics. Oh, excellent. Even better. Special Olympics.
Yeah, so we're going to, you know, do whatever we can to promote that as well.
Okay, that's a good one to do as well. Are the Stones due back? Are you due to have a summit soon to decide on the next?
We're going to have a summit meeting sometime in December, probably, to find out what's going to happen. But I don't know what yet.
But in the meantime, you're going solo and having the crack here.
Yeah, I feel like playing, and we've got my band.
Do you want to hear him play? Come on, you play. Why don't you make your way over there? Ronnie, thanks so much. I'll see you later. Enjoyed it. Okay.